Welcome to Brawl Till We Fall. It's your boy Teo, and we're going to get into this week's updates and news. That's right. We're going to start off as usual with WWE Raw. All right, so this is the Raw after the SummerSlam. It's the SummerSlam aftermath, and Be More, which I didn't even know about. I should have been at this show, but I wasn't, unfortunately. Um, I didn't even look at the schedule. I would have been there. But anyway, to no avail, it was a great show. It kicked off with the new champion, the Ring General, Gunther, and his lackey, of course, Ludwig Kaiser, who I call Bert. Um, gave him an introduction, then went off because he had a match that was coming up next. Um, but surprisingly, to interrupt Gunther's celebration of winning the championship, of course, in SummerSlam he beat Damian Priest to win the belt, thanks to Finn Balor. But we're gonna get into all of that action later. Um, he was interrupted by none other than Randy Orton came back, um, who I thought was injured on SmackDown, but apparently he's healed enough to come out and challenge Gunther. But not only did he challenge Gunther, he reminded him that at King of the Ring, he really didn't pin him, which we had that conversation. He really didn't pin Randy Orton. His shoulder was up, and the referee didn't see it. And so, therefore, Gunther went on and he got the belt from Damian Priest. He got that championship match at SummerSlam. So, Randy Orton came out, reminded him of that. He got this, and is going to get his match with him for the championship at the up and coming, I should say, pay per view, the Bash at Berlin on August 31st. That should be a hell of a match. I can't wait for that. So that's coming up. Moving on, and that's one of the highlights of the night. There's a few highlights, I should say. Um, but we're gonna get into everything that happened, just about, because like I said, this is more or less a news and highlight show. Um, the banger of the night is the next match, or I should say the first match of the night, which is Sheamus versus Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser. Um, and even with the interruption from once friend Pete Dunne, who was a friend of Sheamus, Sheamus still gets the win, and I'm happy for that. I don't like Ludwig Kaiser at all. His character, listen, I tell you this all the time. If you can make me hate you, then you're doing a damn good job of being a bad guy. And I don't like this guy at all. So at the end of the day, I'm happy Sheamus got that win. However, your boy Pete Dunne has been all over the place. He's here, he's in NXT causing problems, and we're going to get into him again later, as he actually has a match on NXT. But we're going to get into that after this. But one of the highlights of the night also was Damian Priest's in-ring segment, and you knew it was coming because if you saw SummerSlam or if you saw my show and I gave you the recap on SummerSlam and what happened, Finn Balor, causing Damian Priest to lose against Gunther, um, caused so much frack. I mean, the Judgment Day imploded basically. I mean, that was just one of the incidents that happened with the Judgment Day. We saw Dom and Liv, and how they turned on Rhea Ripley. That was crazy. So for for Damien to be pissed off is understandable. We knew it was coming. He was in the ring talking about it, and he calling out Finn Balor. However, Finn Balor was on the Titantron, and he did say some things, but he said he's not going to fight him. He sent JD to do the dirty work. So that was a match that was set, and so I'm gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna go right into it. So with that being said, after Finn Balor said what he said, he introduced the new Judgment Day, who is there. You see Finn, JD, Dom, Liv, and I was worried about where Carlito was gonna be in this mix, but he's with them as well, which is understandable because Damian Priest did give him a hard time about joining. He kept asking, "What is he doing here?" So he didn't look out for him, nor did he look out for JD. So everybody that's in this group has a beef with Damian Priest or with Mommy herself, which leaves Rhea Ripley and Damian out of the loop. So, will this Judgment Day be better without them? Hell, I don't know. They claim that there's not going to be any leaders, but as you know, in any faction, group, or any setting, there's always got to be somebody that's got to make decisions. So I don't see how that's going to work out, to be honest with you. In my opinion, though, Damian and Ripley belong with the Final Testament. They fit in that group. They dress like them. They look like them. I don't know. But also, during this match, I seen that your boy Damian Priest still coming out to the Judgment Day's music and theme. I like to see when his whole characteristics going to change, or will it change, or will he give them back their song, or what's going to happen with Damian? He needs his own image now, and so does Mommy, I guess. But she's always had her own image. She never really changed it. It's really been her thing. But I like to see where they go from here. But meanwhile, let's get into the match itself with JD facing Damian Priest. Um, Priest took out his anger and frustration on JD. He whipped his ass. But to no avail, we already knew what was going to happen. We knew it was a setup. This is what the Judgment Day did, and this is what they do. And they jumped him in the end. Finn Balor came from behind, causing um, the disqualification, and they attempted to beat down Damian Priest. But Mommy came to the rescue and helped him out, of course. Rhea Ripley and him standing tall in the last people. They beat the whole Judgment Day. They whipped all their ass. Because, see, here's the thing, and I say this all the time. When you have a faction, there is a couple of things that you need. You can't just depend on speed, agility, and even smarts. You also have to have muscle. You guys got rid of your muscle. Damian Priest is the muscle of the group. You got rid of him. Rhea Ripley, the muscle and brains of the group. You got rid of them. So here you have a bunch of degenerates trying to run a group. Now, Liv Morgan is not, she's smart. I give her that. Dom Dom is even a little smart, but there's no muscle in your group. Bottom line, I don't see this group, uh, I don't see this faction at all going anywhere in the future. I really don't. Um, I hope, I don't know. I guess because they do have some goal, because they do have the tag team championships, and their cheating methods do work. I see them holding on to the belts a little longer. But if they keep bringing in people from outside, for case in point, you had A Town Down Under over there. You never know. Those guys are really smart too. And they, to me, smarter than this faction. So we remain to see what's going to happen. Moving on, the next highlight of the night was, of course, CM Punk in-ring segment, which was interrupted by Seth freaking Rollins as he was calling out Drew for another match. Yeah, he wanted another fight, which I told you. I told you last week that Drew McIntyre, by taking that bracelet that belongs to CM Punk, means he does not want peace. Give that man back his family bracelet, but you don't want peace. Such as it showed, because Seth Rollins came out and he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight CM Punk. He's ready to put him down, he says. But to no avail, Drew can't let that happen. He was out in the ring, in the crowd, and trying to break this up, apparently. And CM Punk, he taunted CM Punk until he left. But see, here's the thing. Let me just tell you right now. This is not the highlight. This is not reason why I chose this to be the highlight, because of the shenanigans between CM Punk, Drew, and Seth. No, I chose this to be the highlight because what happened after CM Punk left to chase after Drew McIntyre. Your boy Seth was in the ring, and then out of nowhere, I don't know what he did to Big Bronson Reed, but Big Bronson Reed came out and beat the hell out of Seth freaking Rollins. He hit him with so many tsunamis. He started to cough up blood. He squashed the hell out of Seth Rollins. He hit him with so many tsunamis. He don't. I don't even think he's gonna be cross dressing no more. I don't know. He just knocked everything out of him. The stuffing out of Seth freaking Rollins. He pulled a Braun Breaker. So will he get what he want? Whatever he want, because Seth ain't got no belt. He just went after the big dog in the ring, I guess. So whatever it is, Seth got his ass handed to him. That was a highlight. Next highlight was the New Day versus Authors of Pain, as you know. Which I told you, I like the Final Testament in a sense, not really like, but but they've been taunting the New Day, trying to get Woods over there with them, and they had plans for them. That was a great fight, and they was gonna cheat like they normally do. But the highlight was out of nowhere again, a surprise. Odyssey Jones, where the hell he been? He came out of nowhere and beat the hell out of the entire Final Testament. Yes. And backstage segment shows that your boy knew about it. So Kofi knew. He didn't tell Woods, and Woods didn't seem enthused about this new member of the New Day, and he ain't know about it. So we may get Woods joining the New Testament, but here's my thing. This is what and I've been saying this, what's been missing from New Day is the big man. What I just said about the group that is now without Priest, there's no strength, no muscle. So at the end of the day, without muscle in the Judgment Day, that's what I was talking about, and the New Day, they lost their muscle. Big E was their muscle. Odyssey Jones fills that void. So now you have muscle. Woods, why would you separate yourself now that you got the full package of what a group, or I should say any type of faction, needs? Speed and muscle. Odyssey Jones destroyed the entire group on your behalf. And I mean, he treated them like they were children. He threw them around the ring. These are some big dudes. He destroyed the entire Final Testament on your behalf. Give that boy a shirt. Let him be a part of the New Day. And let the world see this is a New Day. That's a big boy. Anyway, moving on. I digress in that. The final match and final highlight of the night, the Wyatt Six, which we asked for. I wanted to see it. I said last week, wanted to see what they can do in the ring. And they showed. Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and the original member, Eric Rowan, versus Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, now known as the American Made. I'm going to tell you right now, them boys got their ass handed to them. You ain't fucking with the Wyatt Six. I'm just be real with you. You ain't messing with these dudes. They got their stuff together. They tagged in, tagged out. They did their thing. And they won. And it was no shenanigans. The uncle was sitting out there rocking in the chair. We know it's Bo Dallas. Anyway, he was sitting out there. It was great. I like it. I really like where they're going with the Wyatt Six. And seeing them in the ring was great. Now, where this goes, I don't know. But they can't keep fighting Chad and them, because Chad and them, they can't beat. I mean, I like the group, though. I like the Chad Gable and the Creed brothers as a group. I do. But where will they go? We will see. But that's all I got for Raw. Stay tuned. After these messages, I'll be back with NXT. we're back with NXT. All right, so NXT, as you know, is a pay-per-view segment which is on, regular on television called Great American Bash. This is week 2, which was better than week 1 to me. That's just my opinion. And it kicks off with, as I was talking about in the last segment on Raw, Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams. This match was upsetting to me. But at the end of the day, it's expected because, like I've told you many times, I love Trick Williams. He's a great man, great talent. Um, and I see him going places and doing big things. However, he doesn't have enough arsenal in his tank to really be on that level of champion when he was champion. And he lost it, as I predicted he would, against Ethan Page, who does have a lot of arsenal that he ain't even used yet. But to no avail, Pete Dunne, of all people, beat him. Now, Pete Dunne is great. I'm going to be honest with you. Pete Dunne, he should be way further than he was. So him rising up right now, yeah, this is believable. It is believable that Pete Dunne would beat a Trick Williams. Yes, it is very believable. Most people would disagree because they like Trick Williams and they feel that his following is great. But here's my thing. If you don't got no arsenal and all you got is a catchphrase, you're not going to last long in this industry, period. Because even if he went to another, especially if he went to AEW, you got to wrestle. You got to get your wrestling skills up. If you got to go back to camp or something, but you got to pull out or go to your boy Booker T. He's a fan of yours, and ask him to retrain you something. He's got to give you something else to use other than your size and ability. You need more in your tank. You need something else. Show me something else. So it's not believable that he got beat by Pete Dunne, and that was the opening match. Kalani Jordan retains her title against Tatum Paxley. This was a great match. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was upset about Kalani, and I've told you this many times. She was not what I saw as the person that should have got that belt. I was rooting for Lash. But at the end of the day, Kalani has shown me some stuff. She pulled off that Spanish fly with one leg because she was hurt. And she beat her with one leg. She has been impressing me. So I'm impressed with Kalani Jordan. She's shown me. She shut my mouth. I am not afraid to admit when somebody says, you know what, shut up. Shut up, Teo, because you don't know what you're talking about. She shut my mouth. So I don't know what I'm talking about there. Ora Mensa finally gets his match against Ethan Page. He done interrupted all his matches, but now he finally got his chance, and he loses to Ethan. Ethan retains his title, and there was no craziness. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Never have really felt this whole metaphor thing. I think they are Power Rangers in wrestling. That's what I think. And I think that my girls, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, need a title run on their own. I think they need to disband this group. Hell, we ain't seen Noam Dar for weeks. I really don't. And I'm not a fan of Ora Mensah. All the people that they fired, not to say this man should lose his job. Because I'm going to be honest with you, my whole thing with Ora Mensah is I've nearly never seen him really do no real work. This was a good match. Oh, he took it to Ethan, but it was out of anger. There was no real skills there that I could say, yeah, okay, he changed my mind. Not like Kalani Jordan, he ain't show me nothing. He just regular wrestling skills. I personally would think that he'd be over, but no catch quarter crew. I think no quarter catch crew. I think that's where he belongs. That's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on. Joe Henry, TNA's finest, made his appearance again against Joe Coffey Gallus, and they tried to get involved, but Joe Henry pulled Eddie Guerrero, which was funny. I got to give Joe Henry that. I'm not a fan of Joe Henry, but that was funny. He got them ejected, and he gets the win over Joe Coffey, and he proclaims, "Hey, look, I ain't going nowhere." He's happy where he's at in NXT. So maybe TNA may have lost the one. I don't know. Maybe they need to do a trade. Maybe they need to send Ora Mensa over there. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Ren Sinclair defeats Kendall Gray and becomes the first female and new member of the No Quarter Catch crew, which is great. But that also, she earned them another shot at the Heritage Cup that belongs to Tony D'Angelo. So let's see how this turns out. I don't think they can beat Tony D'Angelo. I don't care who they put against him, but that's just my opinion. All right. Well, the highlight of the night, MSK, aka the Rascals, with Wesley versus Axiom, Nathan Frazier, who are the champions, the tag champions. This was one hell of a match. This was a hard hitting, high octane match. However, in the end, the champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, did retain their titles. But that is not why I made this the highlight of the night of NXT. Nope. It was after the match. Your boy Wesley snapped, taking out his brothers MSK, aka the Rascals. And I don't know if they're going to the hospital or going back to TNA, wherever they're going, but he sent their ass packing. He whipped their ass. So I'm just going to say, yo, Wesley is off the chain. Now, can this energy take him back to trying to get that belt from Obafemi? Yeah, but he's still going to lose. All right. So, and that's what ended NXT. I mean, I'm just going to say, Wesley, I love the energy. Love the fact that you snapped and took out your boys and showing how grimy you can be. But it's not going to get you that belt back. And Obafemi is looking for a challenger. You can see he's angry and he's looking for somebody. So will it be a Obafemi versus Wesley part 2? I don't know. Because maybe Oba is ready to go against the Ethan Page and get the real belt, the heavyweight championship. So we will stay tuned to NXT and see what happens throughout the next weeks. All right. So we are continuing in the week. What I mean by that is all of the wrestling events that take place during the week, we're going in that order. So next up, we're going to get into AEW's Dynamite. So stay tuned after these messages. Okay, we are back. We are back with AEW's Dynamite. And of course, it kicks off with its major star, MJF, where he versus Kyle Fletcher in an eliminator match. If Kyle would have won this match, he would have been next in line, or I should say afterwards, to get a title shot from MJF. However, MJF defeated Kyle Fletcher. Not only did it defeat him, left him in a pool of blood in the ring while Will Ospreay had to come out. But that diamond ring left him bloodied in the ring. And that was one of the highlights of the night. Like I said, Mariah May has been on fire. She defeated Viva Van. I'm just going to go through what's going on in Dynamite and all the things that just took place because it was a lot to digest. Tony Storm did show up and the two women did get into a brawl before the referees and security had to separate it. I can't wait for that match. I'm going to tell you right now, when that match happened, it's going to be on and pop. Darby Allin, he responds to Jack Perry he responds to him. I can't wait for that match. I'm going to skip through a few things and get to the highlights. There was an interview with Swerve Strickland. My boy, good old JR, still doing his thing. That was a great interview. FTR and Orange Cassidy defeated Roderick Strong and the Beast, Mortis and Roosh. Hell of a match. Hell of a match. The Patriarchy. Christian Cage, he announced that there will be a match with House of Black and the Bullet Club Gold on Collision, and the winning team will face the Patriarchy for the AEW Trios titles in All In. And he throws himself in as the special guest referee. When we get to Collision, we'll get into that. But the highlight also of the night was Mercedes Moné, who thought she had it made because she's got the she's got the Young Bucks in her corner, and they can make decisions that they suspended your girl, so the Britt Baker, and that she was not going to have to worry about her. But no, Tony Khan overruled that suspension. Britt Baker will be back, and she will be facing her, and she's going to get that belt at All In. That's my early prediction, because it seems like your girl is too scared in a way. That's why she hired this big brawn woman, I should say. And I think that is going to show. And at the end of the day, I think that is going to be one of those things where Britt Baker's going to come with her own backup and surprise her because she thinks she got it made. But Britt Baker got friends too. In fact, she had her own faction. So I see it happening. The main event of the night, Bryan Danielson defeated Jeff Jarrett in a no disqualification match. This was a back and forth match. It's two dudes. I mean, Jeff Jarrett is an old dude, but he took it to your boy Bryan Danielson. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was on commentary. This was great. I'm going to tell you right now, this was awesome. But Swerve came out, and he's going to be facing Bryan Danielson, as you know, at All In, which is going to be one of the greatest matches I wish I could see live. But yeah, it ended as a great show. AEW Dynamite. I hold no problems with this. I don't know why people continuously try to say that they're doing A, B, C, and D, when all they're doing is actually putting on great shows. That's what they're doing. So you can't compare AEW to WWE. There's two different things going on there. But anyway, I'll be back with TNA after these messages. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Santos, entrepreneur, venture capitalist. I own some of the biggest brands of clothing, Berkson Clothing, and other stores, MLW Medical Supply, and Pros Business Solutions, where I help others get their businesses and dreams started. Well, today I want to talk to you about a new group that I'm a part of. It's called Next Level Investors. And we invest in real estate. So I'm here to ask for your help. If you're walking by a property, jogging or driving by, and you see a property for rent, give me a call. Let me know you saw something. And it doesn't matter what it looked like. It don't matter what city you're in. Just give me a holler and let me know. And that number is 443-902-3452. Again, that number is 443-902-3452. And if you do me that solid, I'm going to give you a jewel. So today, I'm going to offer you something that you may need. A lot of people suffer from pain. They can't sleep at night. Well, I'm going to introduce you to LifeWave. LifeWave is a new breakthrough technology. It's been around for years, so it's not brand new. But this is definitely something that you may need. It's a patch. It's a simple patch. I wear it myself. It helps you to restore your stem cells and give you rejuvenation. It can give you energy. It can help you with your eating habits. It can help you with your pain and anything that you're going through. So if you're interested not only in using the patch for yourself, but being a brand partner like I am, then you can also reach out to me on lifewave.com/asantos360. Or again, you could call that number, 443-902-3452, and I'll tell you all about it. And how you can also get paid for helping others, and be a blessing to yourself as well, because it works. Trust me, it works. That's all I got. Thank you so much for tuning in to me, and I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, we're back. Let's talk about TNA very briefly, because it's not, I mean, there's a few things going on, but it's not a lot of nothing that's, I would say, news catching. All right, so as of course, we got the system in the ring. They out there talking shenanigans. Eddie Edwards on the mic. Um, Alicia Edwards still out there with her gold. Moose claiming that he will get his belt back from Nick Namath. So that's basically going on with that. Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Jake something another. We don't even know his name. Trent Seven, an Ultimate X qualifying match. But we're going to get into Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace issued a open challenge. And who answers? Rosemary. Rosemary is a very scary character. If you don't know, if you don't watch TNA, when she's been on TNA for a minute, she got she got a chance to get it, but of course, and I said it before, Jordan Grace will never have no peace until she just takes out Ash by Elegance. I don't know how she's going to do it, but she attacked both of them with the purple kendo stick to cause a no contest between Jordan Grace and Rosemary, which was a good damn match until Ash by Elegance came out and gave her interference, as she always does. So at the end of the day, I don't know what they're going to do with her. Nick Namath, he was called out by Josh Alexander, and he super kicked him and hit him in the head with the microphone, which I'm gonna tell you right now, microphones hurt. But at the end of the day, so Josh gets his actual title shot next week, and Nick Namath claims to take him out. The match of the night, though, the main event, Joe Henry versus the Wolfgang from WWE NXT. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this was a good match. But Joe Henry got the win, and it's good, like I said, to see them NXT and TNA doing a joint venture, and to see other wrestlers from NXT that they're not really using to go over there and do some things, So that was a good win, and a good win for Joe Henry. So it was awesome. Great night for TNA wrestling. A lot of the characters I'm not familiar with. Pretty sure you're not. But we're going to get there. We're going to give you more from TNA, more from Santana Marella, and different things that's going on there. And we're going to keep on bringing it until we are familiar with TNA today, as we were yesterday. All right. That's all I got for TNA. I'm going to be back with WWE SmackDown. That's up next. Okay, we are back. We're going to get into WWE SmackDown. Again, we know what we are here to talk about: the return of the true tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But before we get there, of course, we're going to start off with the in ring segment. Of course, Cody Rhodes came out to issue his statements, of course, of what happened on SummerSlam. He was interrupted, of course, by the new bloodline, as I call it. And of course, Solo came out and made his claims. But here's the thing: the actual uh, person that uh, I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole in-ring segment to me was boring. I'm just gonna be real with you. Cody Rhodes was out there. Solo came out. He is still not enthused. I'm not enthused by Solo. Um, And, this whole back and forth between the bloodline and Cody Rhodes' only ally that came out to his rescue was Kevin Owens. As we saw earlier or spoke earlier about Randy Orton is over in WWE Raw. He's got his own issues and what he's got going on. So, do we see the tribal chief joining force with Cody Rhodes? I don't know. But Cody needs some allies. And we don't know what the tribal chief is going to do. And I'm just going to skip to the whole end of it because at the end of the day, it was a great show. And, there was a few things that happened. Um, the Street Profits, aim for the gold. They went in a tag team championship number one contenders qualifying match. The Street Profits versus A Town Down Under. Um, the Street Profits did get that win finally. Um, so you see Nick Aldis trying to show that Kevin Owens, because he was saying that Roman Reigns is going to come back and go for the belt and get a rematch against um, Cody Rhodes, which is funny because Cody Rhodes did mention that yeah, he wouldn't mind getting a rematch, but as your boy Kevin Owens said, he ain't never got a rematch for any of the matches he had against Roman Reigns. So why should he? So at the end of the day, it proved now Kevin Owens will be facing Cody Rhodes at the Bash in Berlin, which is due Kevin Owens. Honestly, he's been sucked. He's been definitely screwed many times by Roman Reigns and the Bloodline for that belt. Now, can he beat Cody Rhodes? No. I'm really not enthused about this match, to be honest with you. And that goes back to what I was saying about the opening segment. Um, I was on another show and they said something that made a lot of sense. Shout out to my boy Meek, in Wrestling World over there. Um, I'm gonna say this. I agree with my boy when he said that they should have kept Cody Rhodes over on Raw. He made better statements. He made better. It would have been a better rivalry, over there going against the Wyatt Six. I would say. But at the end of the day, we're here now, so we got to deal with what's going on. Um, is it exciting? The Bloodline, yeah. To see who's coming next, yeah. The Bloodline versus the Bloodline, yeah. Bloodline versus Cody, no. Real talk. So, the end of the day, he finished the story. Let the man move on and give him a new challenger. That's all I got to say about that. Um, Nothing really crazy, like I said, happening on this show. Tiffany Stratton was backstage celebrating Nia Jax's victory. Um, Jade Cargill was in action. She defeated Alba Fire with Alba Dawn. Um, LA Knight celebrates his ring segment. And number one contenders match, which was the match of the night, Andrade versus Santos Escobar. This was a damn good match. I actually enjoyed this. Carmelo Hayes, however, in the end, interrupted this match. Not too happy about that. But Santos did get the win, which, like I said, I wasn't too happy about that. But all in all, it was a damn good match. DIY versus Pretty Deadly. I'm not a Pretty Deadly fan, but DIY did get the win, so I'm happy about that. Solo called out Roman Reigns, and he came out and whipped all of their asses. They thought they were going to jump him, but he shows that he is the true tribal chief because he whipped all of their asses by himself. So at the end of the day, he doesn't fear nobody. Now, is he going to need backup in the future? Yes. See, you're missing one member. He didn't whip everybody's ass, but he did whip the one-eyed bandit I call. So he dropped Tonga Loa and Lower Tonga or whatever, and he did whip their ass. But again, when all of them are there, and that means the werewolf himself, he gonna need backup. So I was waiting to see who he was gonna come out with. That was the most excitement, is who he's gonna have in his crew. So I guess we gotta still wait for that to happen. And that's all I got for SmackDown this week. Nothing crazy, nothing exciting. I mean, exciting, but not crazy. So we'll tune into next week to see what happens as this saga of the bloodline unfolds. Up next, AEW Collision. That's what I meant to say. Coming up next. All right, we're back with AEW's Collision. It kicked off with Darby Allin and Hologram defeating Tony Nese and Josh Woods, call themselves the premier athletes, which I've seen them lose so many times. I don't see them being premier at all. Thunder Rosa defeated Diana Purrazzo in a Texas Bull Rope match. I'm hoping that this is it. Now, they've been fighting each other the last few weeks. I hope this is it. But FTR defeated the Outrunners. That wasn't such a great match, to be honest with you. Roosh defeated Preston Vance, which Roosh always brings it. Good match. Swerve Strickland issued an open challenge, and he got the challenge that he needed to get him prepared to go up against Bryan Danielson. And that match was against none other than New Japan's Tomohiro Ishii from New Japan. And he brought it. He definitely brought it. Swerve definitely got challenged, but Swerve did get the pinfall victory. So that was a great match. That match right there, to me, is the match of the week. So good old JR had his interview now with Bryan Danielson, which was great. So Christian Cage, let's get to the main event. So the House of Black, the Bullet Club go with Christian Cage as the special referee. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been watching wrestling for quite a while. I already know how this is going to end up. Even though this match ended up in a no contest or draw type of thing, it's not going to be good for your boy. It's not. It's not going to be good for your boy Christian Cage. Because at the end of the day, he's going to have to face both teams. That's just going to be the end result. And that means that anybody can pin anybody to win and get his belts. So that's just the way I look at it. So it ends in a draw. That means that Tony Khan is going to make it a triple threat match. Three-way title, three-way match for the Trios Championships. And my money is on House of Black. As they always say, always bet on black. That's my money. It's going on House of Black. And they deserve it. They do deserve that match. Now, let's bring you to some comedy, if you may. In the 0 hour of the upcoming pay-per-view All In, it will be Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway, facing Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii. This is where you will see Stokely in the ring finally getting his ass whipped. This, for me, was the highlight of the night. I can't wait for All In to see this. Stokely finally getting his ass whipped. I hope he ain't wearing no suits. Them high water suits he been wearing. Because he gonna get his ass whipped. And I can't wait because now there's no outside interference. And Chris Statlander will finally get her ass whipped by Willow Nightingale. So both of them gonna get an ass whooping. So that's the highlight of the night for me. That's all I got for AEW Collision. Thank you for watching my show. And stay tuned and the future things that will come. Like I said, we always do our best to bring you the best news that we can bring and highlights that you may have missed. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're doing something else. I don't know. But I hope that I'm entertaining to you. More stuff to come, more things to come, more features to come. My brothers will be back as we begin All In. We'll do our prediction show for that. Well, at least one of my brothers, because not a lot of them watch AEW like that. But, there's another pay-per-view also for WWE, Bash at Berlin. Depending on who's on the roster, I might do that myself just to predict. Depending on how big it gets. So we shall see how it's going to grow. But thank you again for watching. Thank you for tuning to Teo. This has been another episode of Brawl to Before, our news and update segment. Thank you all. Peace and love.